And so the main thing here is I want to see if you guys can start to get into kind of like the parkour vision. So we'll see the different techniques that we're comfortable with, and then we'll see how we can apply them in different ways. And I kind of break technically parkour down into 9 different sections. So we have balance, we have walking or running, we have jumping, we have crawling, we have vaulting, we have rolls and falls, we have flipping, and then we have climbing and swimming. You want to say climbing before? But, okay, so those are the 9. And so even in a place like this, you know, how could we, which maybe you might think, okay, balance, or you might think, you know, whatever you might think, how can you step outside of that and say, okay, well, how can I swing on this thing? How can I climb on this thing? And that is usually like the playful side of parkour that I really enjoy, and I think has the most accessibility, because from my perspective, if I train only, you know, vertically and linearly, and maybe I become like the best at jumps, but then I have to use a vault or I have to use a roll, and I'm not ready for it, and I haven't trained it in all circumstances, that opens me up to injury. So let's go and just get started warming up with a little bit of balance. So we'll be on hands and knees. See if you can play with it a little bit more on the arm side, so more of your weight is poured to the front. See how it feels like, how your body shifts if you pour more of the weight into the back of your knees. Just letting it go side to side. See how it feels completely balanced. And wrist comes through. See if you can lean back enough that the hands are just there, kind of as an ornament. You're not really using those to it. Good. Back to all fours. Now what I want you guys to kind of think about what you're doing from here is just to get a little bit more activation of the wrist and stuff like that. You can meter how much weight you're going to be putting on your wrists, but just lift up the palms and keep the fingers down flat. And we'll lift it just as much as you can. If you feel like there's too much weight, lean more onto the knees. And we'll go ahead and just do about 5 of them, just to feel that out. Then on the 5th one, go ahead and hold it, so you're just on those fingers, feeling the tension there. Good. After the 5th one, maybe go ahead and move into a squat if you're feeling comfortable. And now we'll just feel a little bit more of that force. So now from our squat, maybe you can shift into the hands and back to your squat. Already you can reach a bit further, but it's completely up to you. Just when you are reaching, think as we kind of were with that exercise, reaching with the ball of the hand, so we are getting to use the muscles in the forearm to help absorb some of the force and not just skillety jamming into our wrist. Also, as you guys start feeling it, see, you know, you guys are all doing a really good job at that cohesion of the hip shift with the push, you know, so that everything is, you don't get stuck here, you go really far, but you can't push yourself back. That's another kind of thing in parkour. If you climb up, you should be able to climb down. If you get your balance there, you should be able to balance back. If you can get yourself in a position, you want to be able to get yourself out of the position. And now we can go ahead and do the same thing back. So from the back position, it's usually easiest for people to lock their hands in, and you can completely do that. If you want to do that, just make sure you do it a couple times, let's say 3 on each. If you want to get more into a little bit harder of a one, you'll keep your fingers forward, and you'll get both back at the same time. If it needs to be for you, Jim, this can even be from your seated position.
Yeah.
The goal is like, I mean, you made a joke, like, for me this is parkour, but I even had this
That wasn't really a joke.
Well, I mean, but you said something to be funny.
Yeah.
And one of my teachers was one of the original French guys. I was touring him through my city, and he had this exact thing, like, you know, when you're this age, this is going to be your fear jump.
Yeah.
You know, that day we were, you know, jumping with, you know, death drops on the other side, but he's like, you know, one day this curve is going to be like the thing that's fine. You know, it has no idea. Yeah, it has nothing to do with what, you know, none of us here really, probably except for me, are trying to be competitive parkour athletes or have been. So the goal is really it's a personal journey. You know, that's the other thing I really like about parkour is, you know, we should all be able to go to the same spot and challenge ourselves in the same way, but be completely doing different things. And I want you guys to just make 3 circles all the way around. let's say 2 each way, so 4 circles. Once you finish that, you can kind of shake them out a little bit. Now, on our knees, let's go ahead and just raise up our feet. Just kind of balance like this if you can. If this is feeling all right, we'll do like a little prayer type thing. So we try and get our face as mission impossible. Very close to the ground, keeping the feet off the ground, just the knees. And going up and down. If you like to try just for giggles, you can try balancing just on that one point of your knee, keeping the foot lifted. If that feels a little bit tough, you can let that back foot go down. And from this position, big circles with you. Emphasis here is on the ankle circle, so balance is just a little bit of an extra. Again, if it's too hard, put that foot down. And then circle the other one. And so I think we'll finish the rest of it here, or on the set. Just give it a walkthrough. It doesn't even matter. You can go stair side first, ramp side first. Watch out for each other, but see all the different things you can test. You can check, so I can be saying, okay, how does this on my foot? How does this angle feel? Okay, this looks a little worn down there. Is it going to break off on me? How does the rail feel? How's the grip on my shoes? How do my sandals react to it, right? So we have what we're training in, so we need to understand, like, if I'm in sandals, there's going to be extra, my foot slipping on the sandal kind of thing. So go ahead and just walk through it, test all the different surfaces. You can see, like, this one's actually pretty sturdy, but a bit slippery maybe. This, obviously, not that sturdy. So, it's like
I'll show you.
Yeah, sometimes there. How hard stuff is. Yeah, there could be little burrs. Yeah, so Catherine had a good observation. Like sometimes you're not careful, catch the strong piece of the rail. Not fun at all. Sometimes rails get rusted through. And after you guys finish that, just come on over to the graph. Again, another thing that I really enjoyed about parkour, especially kind of how it started out, it was really just a group of kids that were trying not to get stuck into gangs and all this kind of stuff. And they all just happened to kind of be athletic kids, or their families were in the military, or they were firefighters, or so there was this kind of physical culture amongst them, and they just happened to find each other. And it was just like, oh, can you do this? Oh, can you do that? And then that evolved into, now there's techniques, and now there's all these things and stuff like that. So originally it was really just started as like kids games, so
suburbs of France, or
suburbs of France, Nice, sadly I haven't gotten to be there yet. But so this next one I just want to do is I want us to get to the grass patch on the other side using only this handicap ramp, and the ground is lava, so what's going to count as the ground is going to be all this sidewalk stuff here. So even these little curbs, these are fair play. These are all good. And I just want you guys to go through. Ground is lava. We'll do it there and back. So on the way back, you might be interacting with another person, and so in that case, you'll have to adapt as well and see how you guys work together to move around. Cool?
Should we apply the swimming principles that we learned?
I have not applied them. I would
See,
not.
I can go.
Find my buoyancy.
Finding corners if you're not sure about your stability is a really great thing. Finding walls and stuff that can help you.
The sun is hot.
Trying to use your hands and your feet together.
I didn't know that.
It's like careful, just wax on the
Mama.
It doesn't look like we can make it actually. I think we can jump.
We can jump real good.
So I miscalculated and we can't make it. Let's see if we can keep it down to one step. Okay? So one step
There's a bridge in the middle.
to get you to the.
We have Asian Spider-Man.
It's just long. Spider. Nice.
Now, once you get into the grass, you can already make your way back. You don't have to wait for anything.
What are you doing? You must find your way back. Nice.
You get one touch.
Oh, you get one touch across the
One
step.
touch. Yeah, across the steps. I don't even think I even might.
How are we supposed to go there?
You get one step. One step on the. So remember, you get all the way up to the edge of that curve, though.
Right.
So you got a little shimmy left.
One lava step.
You have one burn-proof boot. Nice.
Really good, guys.
Yeah, and it's so like, it's so simple, but it's like, again, it's like any game, but again, the environment is pieces.
You cater it to what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes,
And the simple thing of one step as a handicap.
You're just jujitsuing the rail. Well, that looks way more fun.
There we go, that's good.
It's nice too because even thinking about that one step, you'll learn, oh man, I only like jumping to the left. I only like jumping to the right.
Good. It's very fun. I just stopped when I started hurting. I only got burned once.
Nice.
Whoa.
I could jujitsu.
That was like sissy.
Cool, guys. And now, just one more little open-ended one. This time I want to see if you guys can go there like everything is, what's it called? Like everything's electric. So now it's the opposite of the ground is lava. So you can't touch anything at all. And I want you to at least attempt to go through that middle section without touching once. It's okay if you touch, but you're just trying.
Curb's
What's
electric
electric?
or curb's not electric?
Everything.
Everything
is,
but the ground?
But the ground. So now it's only the center. So maybe
Curbs that we could walk
you
on
know you
before,
feel like
so we can't touch them.
yeah you can practice a little balance on the curb there.
Okay, curbs are still in.
I feel like
Go.
you said that, but the rails are
Through and through. And again, Oh, sorry. Find your spot through here that you think you got a good chance of getting through.
Now who's getting to it? Who's jujitsuing now, Mars? My butt.
I'm gonna make this into like contemporary dance. So
Contemporary dance.
It's the butt, man.
Are you gonna incorporate Gaga?
For the petite people.
I have like 6 hits. Not that.
Observation.
I'm gonna do it anyway, so it's gonna get killed.
Oh my god, this one's nice.
It's okay, it's a challenge.
You've been electrocuted. You have been electrocuted.
By the way, Jim.
Establish really good boundaries, right?
Yeah, super good at visual awareness.
It's being unnecessary a little bit. Ooh, nice. It's tough. It looks like Zubul, then you're like, damn, so many angles.
This looks like a potential twerk angle. You too.
My head's got stuck too.
Lack of leverage.
She's like, no, I'm gonna be stuck. Somebody get me out of
Gotta risk it.
Cool, guys. So you see how even, I mean, just me watching, already seeing you guys do like some parkour techniques without even knowing, and that's exactly what they did. That's the whole idea. First, I think, and foremost, when it comes to parkour, is like getting back into that culture of like play and exploration with your environment, and realize that no matter how much, you know, the man or society or culture may try and, you know, hold you down with walls or rails, or, you know, you see even like they have you know, anti-homeless, like, you know, they'll put like bolts and nuts and spikes, you know, those
Pigeon
are actually,
spikes.
yeah,
Yeah.
pigeon spikes, things like that. Like, most of these things can still be, you know, navigated through and actually treated as like a source of creativity and exploration and growth, instead of, you know, stagnation and repression, exactly. So now I think I'd like to just show you guys some basic techniques. We can start back over here because this is kind of a nice corner for it. The whole goal is you want to get far enough away that you can lift your hips up and thread your little foot through the middle and try and be as gentle as you can. So if you guys want to give this step hold a try, you can. And after you kind of feel comfortable with it, I want to see if you can find another place to do this step vault just in this area. So even if maybe I want to go through instead, I can still apply that step vault, you know, or even here. I'm just using, I mean, this is almost like what you saw from like The Office. Like, I can just use that same step vault idea and apply it to two different obstacles. So just try the step vault if you're unfamiliar with it. If it feels way too uncomfortable here, even the ground is like a fine place for it. So using two lines as a reference, or even the grass, you know, if you do have to use your fists, or if you are a little bit impaired, you can find a higher handhold, and it's literally just about bringing your foot far enough through that place. So even what I just did there is step vault, right? So you can try the step vault on the rail if you want. You can try it on the ground if you feel more comfortable as well. Again, and then I want you to see if you can apply it in just a different way. Now that you have this step vault tool, how can you use it? What can you create?
How did he do the step vault?
step and spread.
Oh.
And so rails are a tough one, but
It feels scary, yeah.
so I would say come over to here where you can use at least
Corner.
the corner some way, somehow. Help you out a lot more. And I can give a little more stability with the shoulder as well.
Center mass.
Which
I know, right? I'm like,
you can lift that.
oh my God.
Right side.
So if this one is too tough, I can give you another technique. Yeah, that's fine. So actually this is probably my most used technique when it comes to going over stuff.
And it's great. It's good
Just
for loading.
what I call like the saddle vault.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You'll let it go all the way
Feels
over.
very
You can use
safe.
this
Don't
one
be
to
freaked
sit
out about
and
it.
just be on the thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can put your hand even over to that,
Oh.
and then give you enough space to.
Much better.
That's
Better
the saddle vault as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, good.
So now see another places you can apply that saddle vault.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I wanted to know how to do that one.
This is cool. I never thought of doing it this way.
Very good.
Is that how you do
So it's
this
just
stuff?
rotation.
That was it, yeah. And the thing that just makes it is just making sure you give yourself enough that foot in front that you can bring it through. You know, if I just have this leg already through, then it doesn't do as much. If I can be like in my lunge, or get that foot up a little bit higher, then you can do it more power. Yeah, exactly. Does anybody have a step vault
Could be the
that
other.
they're excited about
That one.
or happy about?
This comes through.
And then I can through.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. So, if everybody feels cool with that, I just want to do two more things here, I think. And that will be, because this setup is so good for it, is like swinging or through type movement. So even like, you might think it's tough to do something swinging here, but there is like lots of different opportunities for it if you are comfortable with it. So you can just shoot yourself through. So I'm using that element of swinging to do an underbar, or I can be testing it in a different way, and I can see maybe I reach through and my swing happens from there. Maybe instead, so I just went head first. If I do that same idea, and I go feet first, you can create a different kind of a move. Did you guys also see what kind of move I did when I went through? Yeah, it was very similar to that step vault. So all these things kind of get blended together. So I'll just give you one that me or Jesse made up. I can't remember, but this one we call the crossbow. And so the way it works, there's two versions. The head first version, which I usually find a bit better for going up, but again, you can apply it how it works for you. It's like a mix between a vault and an underbar. So I'm going through, I'm placing one hand down, I'm placing my other arm on top, and then you can either do what we call a swing leg through, so my leg goes all the way through like that, or you can apply that same step vault idea, the rail slipper. You can even have a little anchor to help you out, and you throw it through like that. And so that's the head first crossbow. Yeah, so if I'm like in a super slippery spot, this is going to happen. Instead, I'm just going to go there, so I don't have to worry about it. So again, the crossbow, just real quick, the head first one, I'll do it this way so you guys can see me facing you. Hand goes down also, hooking with the whole arm here. You can use that step vault idea, or you can swing all the way through with it. So go ahead and give that crossbow a try, see if you can try it in another place.
You're in the low line. I watched it from a different.
It's that same part of the Turkish get up, right? Bringing the leg through.
Legs first.
Yeah, so the legs, yeah, I'll start.
It just looks so cool.
I'll put one hand down and I'll grab and then I'm going to put my step vault and then I'm going to rest. This is probably, it's a little bit like a massage too. So roll onto your belly to get yourself there.
They call it butterfly.
Yeah, very good.
It might be a test of an aerial, but
had a student, my first one actually, she didn't have an ACL and she had already like fractured her spine. It took 6 months to get her to a place where she could safely do like 3-foot jumps, you know what I mean? And so I don't know where your guys' bodies are at or anything like that, so just play, take it easy and understand that even if you can't do the thing that you want to do, you can still take the steps towards it, you know? And even for me, as a young kid getting into parkour, if I wanted to do, there was a type of backflip that I wanted to be able to do. I had really bad technique for it, not enough strength for it, and it took me like 6 months or a year to finally build up to get it, and then it took me another like 4 years before I was finally confident to do it. It took me like, until I was confident, yes, I could technically do it and I wouldn't mess any of it up, but I had to like build my brain up to believe it for like a minute and then I could go. And then, after some time and some work, eventually your body accepts it, and it's like, okay, this is fine, this is normal, and it's okay. But you can't really rush that process too much. But, so here, I just want us to work on jumping up, because it's, in my perspective, just a lot nicer on the body, because the landing is just a lot softer. We're all going to do just one step, and I want us to try and see if we can understand how to use our arms as much as we can with this. So the other thing in parkour is, maybe if I'm training, I'll do strict muscle ups or something like that, but if I'm actually doing like a run, I'm going to do a kipping muscle up, or I'm going to step off the wall and climb myself up, because I want to use as much of my body as possible. That'd be the most efficient. Even if I'm doing a flip or some other kind of non-efficient move, I want to go about it in the best way so that I have the most energy to keep doing what I'm doing, right? So taking just one step at a time, try and land on the ball of your foot. Make sure, kind of how Jen was saying, let you really feel that awareness of your weight into the center of the ball of your foot, not on the outside or on the inside. Because obviously that would lead to overuse stuff, or it could to an acute thing. And see if you can imagine like you're having like these giant weights in your hands, and those are actually what's projecting you up, so that you can really use that to your advantage. And so we'll just do one step, all of us, 2 steps, all of us, 3 steps, all of us, and then put our max. So we'll stop where we stop. If you're at your max at 1 step, then keep doing rounds of 1 step, right? And then we'll head to the right and find our way through down into the grass, however we wish. You can play with the step hold technique, you can play with anything else. If you want to try something else, I can help you with that. You probably get 2. Think about being as gentle and as light as you can. For the most part, I kind of think of sound as wasted energy. So if you're kind of thudding,
What's this here?
yeah, we've been going for a long time. So if you know 7, let's do this. Let's transition. So if you guys, that was a really nice one. Nice. You felt it, right?
Yeah, it's super light. That was not light. Some house footwork there, Chris.
That basketball footwork from the morning.
Chicago. You can't take the Chicago out of the girl.
This. There's a little ankle.
You okay? Like a little impingement, or?
No, I sprained it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
After you feel like you've gotten to your max, let's just do, let's say 2 rounds. So I just got to the top, so that was my first time through. I'll go 2 more times. Another thing we have in parkour with like the technical and the mental aspects of it is, after you achieve something for the first time, you don't want to kind of just rest on your laurels. You really want to make sure that you're starting to build that, that bond, that, okay, now I'm starting to carve out this path so that I can actually attain it and achieve it. So we always do at least a rule of 3 to try and go for it. Obviously, if it's something that's your max and you're dying or dead scared trying it, maybe it's not your day to do the rule of 3.
Rule of 3 sets or 3 reps?
At that high point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's not enough body weight forward.
It's jumps.
That's nice to hear.
We're like not even here.
I know it's pretty cool. Utilizing one jumping move, one vaulting move. You have to go under or through something, and then lastly just one of your own things. Has to be interacting with the obstacle. It can be interacting with the ground, but I would prefer to try and be a little more creative than that. Yeah, I mean, yes, maybe you've done like floor work type stuff or whatever, like that's fine, but instead maybe see how you can use that. But even taking that and using it like, okay, how do I use it going in through this area? So it's the same movement, but I just changed levels slightly, you know? So 4 things: a jump, a vault, a going through, and your choice.
Does it matter if we're starting coming from this way or from this way?
You start and go from anywhere, so this also opens up the chaos of everybody else planning out and doing their things too, so please be aware. Please also check your surfaces.
Start.
They don't have to be right after each other.
Blue, you took that just as you found it.
That's too noisy.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like the animal, something's happening.
The hair's on my back.
Oh, pretty fun, Gary.
It works for me.
Glad you stopped there, though. I was getting worried. Yeah.
Let me strike a pose.
Take a couple more minutes, guys.
Get wasted there. It takes you to pull down.
Does anybody have one that they would like to share that's fleshed out yet? I really like the redirect straight into the jump. That was super sweet.
I like the phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have to get Come on, Marcy. If you had a donkey.
It's a face, right? It's
I'll show my free
just out on the table.
Sweet, let's see it.
Best I could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
There we go.
Everybody's background, right?
Nice.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Not as content.
Nice. It's making use of the environment.
Anything else? You want to show yours, Chris? Get some.
I honestly don't remember what I did. I was doing stuff.
I did the same thing 3 hours. I found one thing I stuck with it 4 times.
Yeah, that's all right. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to find something. Nothing super spoke to me, but a couple single things did. You know what I mean? So that's this is just kind of one aspect of parkour training. Some days maybe I'm just gonna see like how many climb-ups I can do. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more physical, sometimes more technical. This is a little bit more mental, a little more on the creativity side of things. I'm really just trying to help you guys start to see some of the opportunities that you might not have otherwise,
Yeah.
given a second look. But
Yeah, the step through I got from like not feeling super great about it now. I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Big deal,
Great.
yeah.
yeah, so that's the whole thing. We have this body that was given to us, and it's luckily, we're in a lot better a place than others. We have some of those people with the hypermobility stuff. They don't really get to live a normal life as we know it, and but even at this stage, like the way that I like to think of it is, no matter where we are, there's always a little bit more to learn. There's a little bit more to do, and we're not ever really getting the full picture of our capabilities. And I think parkour for me has been an awesome way to help see how I can really appreciate my environment and appreciate my body in a way that I don't think was otherwise really open to. Things like rock climbing and stuff like that, of course you appreciate, walls, the nature, the things like that, but, who's going to appreciate this dumpster area like a parkour person, you know what I mean? Like, this could be a place that I trained for years and like get so many things and get so much out of it, and become so much mentally, physically, and technically strong and capable, but no one's really gonna think of it that way until you start to make that shift. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.